If I said, okay, Richard, I have a benefactor, and he's got a pretty unlimited budget here, and he's really interested in your career, and he wants to fund your big dream, what would it be?
Uh, my current goal right now is to find the means and ability to build an audience for 20 years from now, which is to go into high schools or have high schools come here and get them into the theater and give those people, which in a sense is a bit of a captive audience, the bug. We don't need everybody, we need 10% to fill our theaters and to create an audience for the future for new Canadian plays. I know it doesn't seem like a very ambitious goal. Like, yes, I'd love to renovate the whole theater, 30 million, yeah, great. If you've got unlimited, fine. I got the plans, I can show you the plans, let's do it tomorrow. We can move off site with a season and come back, and that's not what I really want. Is to develop a better audience again. And I know that we lost an audience 10, 20 years, 25 years ago when we stopped funding arts to the schools. We need to be able to fund artists to go into the schools and create Canadian plays or new plays with people doing it in the high schools. We need those guys to come here and get into the theater and watch new Canadian plays and do workshops here. We need to create a kind of cross a relationship that goes on. We mustn't stop it. It needs a guarantee that it will always be there, so that someone can't cut it. Which that's when the big money comes in. You can't cut this. This was going to happen forever, because that's how we're going to keep an audience going and not have our theaters closed. If we get them at 16 and 17, we'll get them at 50. And what we're seeing now is we're losing people at 40 and 50 when they have enough money and enough time, no kids or whatever makes people go to the theater, and a better career so they can making more money. They're not showing up like they used to show up. We're not getting necessarily the new 50-year-old because they didn't go when they were in their high school. And I think that if I had, that's where I would want it guaranteed that you could never touch that money again. That you could stop any kind of political or social or deficit by the provincial government driving it and say this is a guaranteed relationship. I went to Berlin a couple years ago, twice, 2 times, 2 years apart. I sat in the Berliner Ensemble on a Wednesday night and a Thursday night. I stood up and I looked around and I said, I'm the oldest person in this room. And then I watched, as I left the theater, teachers with their kids, 30 kids, their group, talking to the students outside about the play or about the bus ride home or the subway ride home or how to get home or whatever they were doing. But they were engaged with their students. And it's also teachers, right? They got to see a play. And it was in the Wednesday night. It wasn't Wednesday matinee. It was Wednesday night they were coming. And they were engaged. And that's how you build a culture. And I think it's long-term work, and we lost it. We were doing really well. We had a culture coming out of the 70s. We had a culture coming out of the 80s. People were coming to theater. It was growing. We saw the manifestation of that in the year 2000 because I think the houses grew. They got bigger. The box offices got bigger. More people came. And now we're seeing that drop off, and I'm going, we need to solve this 20, 30 years from now.